We move to the next talk, which is patch test with own material. Speaker is Dr. V.K. Mahajan, sir. Chairpersons for this session are Dr. B.B. Mahajan, sir, and Dr. Pushpa Singh, ma'am. Dr. B.B. Mahajan, sir, is Professor Emeritus, Department of Dermatology, Venereology and Leprology, Government Medical College, Amritsar. He has about 109 publications in various national and international journals. Authored a chapter on injection therapies for nail disorders in a book titled Nail Disorders, A Comprehensive Approach. He has authored 2 chapters in the book titled Comprehensive Textbook on Vitiligo. Authored a chapter on nail lichen planus and lichenoid disorders in Textbook of Onychology, and delivered lectures as invited faculty in zonal, national and international conferences. Our next chairperson is Dr. Pushpa Singh, ma'am. She is currently in Central Government Health Services, Jaipur, and has a vast clinical experience in dermatology and has many publications in national and international journals. We welcome you, ma'am, and we request you to introduce the speaker, Dr. Vikram Mahajan, sir.
खोलना। अरे मम्मी आ गई नहीं हैं? सॉरी।
Dr. Mahajan, sir, your meeting is on mute. Please unmute it.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Thank you. Very good afternoon to all my esteemed colleagues and dear friends. Let me first put on record my thanks to Dr. Dinesh Mathur, sir, President Godficon and organized chairperson, for giving me the honor to be the chairperson. And in this session, we are having a very eminent speaker, an authority on contact dermatitis, Dr. Vikram Mahajan, who will be deliberating on patch test with one's own material. Very important subject. Now invite Dr. Vikram Mahajan to share his personal clinical experiences regarding patch test with one's own material. Just take it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your kind words. I'll be sharing my screen.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Visible?
Still not.
Is it visible?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet.
Just share your screen.
Sorry, I'm already sharing it.
It's visible. It's visible.
Hello? Is it visible?
Dr.
Yes,
Vikram,
it's visible.
your screen is visible,
Yes,
but
sir.
make it on full. Probably
Right.
there may be.
Is it okay now?
Yes, yes, perfect.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Mahajan. It is nice to see you on screen at least. And Dr. Dinesh Mathur, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be online for this particular talk. At the outset, I must thank the previous speakers, especially Dr. Ram Gulati. He has nicely laid down foundation for clinical examination or clinical diagnosis of contact dermatitis. And of course, Dr. Kaushal Verma and Dr. Rhea for giving great details of patch testing and its relevance and significance in doing the test. Dr. Chakravarti, of course, Dr. Siri Srinivas has done a favor to me to elaborate on photo patch testing. So probably I can make my talk a little short, skipping these aspects of patch testing and clinical diagnosis of contact dermatitis. So my topic particularly is patch testing for patients with patient's own material, right? So all of us know that allergic contact dermatitis, the positive allergen is mainly identified by patch testing. Most of the time, what I heard is the patch test is a gold standard in diagnosis of dermatitis. It is not gold standard in diagnosis of dermatitis, but identifying the allergen of the allergic contact dermatitis. Of course, negative patch test result will not automatically exclude allergic contact dermatitis because sometimes The negative results are because of simply the reason that we have not tested that putative or suspected allergen in that particular patient. So negative results automatically will not exclude all these causes of allergic contaminants. People are constantly exposed to new chemicals, so probably the standard patch test battery itself has a very limited number of allergens to be tested, and in most instances is 20 to 30. Like in Indian standard scale is only 20 patch test allergens which we are testing. Of course, they are the common ones, common allergens in day-to-day life, but still the number probably has to be increased for finding it more relevant to the allergic diagnosis of allergic contaminants. Another problem with the patch test series is that almost there are 20 million chemicals have been identified, and 12,000 new substances are probably added to the environment every day, and about 1 million of new chemicals probably enter every year in the environment. Approximately more than 3,500 of these chemicals have been identified as contact allergen. So list is very vast, and all of them cannot be tested. And of course, a patient can be exposed to any of these allergens depending on the environment and depending on his occupation or depending on the workplace or the workplace he's exposed to. Similarly, at home also, the person may be exposed to number of allergens which probably we may not account for. So number, type, and quantity of each being used vary depending on the economy, industrialization, and agriculture in a country. Of course, these are the major factors which lead to variation in the number of various chemicals present in the environment or in the work environment. Now, why test with patient's own material? When we have all the standard Indian standard series, we have an European standard series, we have Scandinavian series, and all those series are there. But still, we have to test these patients with patient's own material, because the standard patch test, like I said, detects only about 70 to 80% of the allergens. Most of the allergens, about 20% of the allergens, they remain unidentified because of the limited number of patch test allergens in any series. Additional tested allergens like patient's own material will add up to almost 5 to 23% of positive reactions, and almost 44% relevant allergens detected on testing patient's own material are there. So you can see the patch testing results will be enhanced because of testing with the patient's own material. So almost it has been in few studies they say that almost 20 to 60% of additional positive reactions and additional allergens can be identified by testing the patient's own material or the material, any material brought by the patients, specifically after asking or finding the cause of allergen, cause of dermatitis in case by history and clinical examination. Now, some materials, of course, there are some problems with testing with patient's own material. And simple reason is some materials to be tested have many ingredients. So most of the time, what we have is compound allergens rather than a single one chemical or one allergen is there. So sometimes there is a combination of many ingredients in one allergen or the contact agent. Testing of each ingredient separately or their chemical analysis may be needed in such cases, but however, there is no standard concentration for used products or the components is known for patch testing. This is a major limitation. You don't have any standardized concentration for testing of these unknown materials. Similarly, where several vehicles and concentration dilutions may be needed for some materials to find appropriate dilutions and suitable vehicles for patch testing. Irritant and false positive or false negative reactions are frequent in such scenario, and that may lead to misdiagnosis or missed opportunities to identify the positive allergens. And of course, active sensitization because of these unknown substances remain a possibility, though of course it is rare. Now, how to prepare the sample or how to take the samples for for patch testing, which are otherwise they are not included in the standard patch testing. So sample selection will depend on the exposure type. So it depends on the clinical history. Now the clinical history must include the patient's occupation and the possible list of possible allergies. If possible, the person, the clinician must visit the place of work or the environment where the patient is working. So once the person or the clinician visits his workplace, he or she has to identify various types of the samples and pack them separately with proper packing and labeling. Because sometimes there's a mix-up of all these chemicals or contactants, and that may lead to false type of the results. Hand creams, cleansers, and protective gloves to be included for patch testing in all cases of unknown allergens, and all cosmetics, body care products must be tested. Most of the time, these are not included in the standard patch testing unless we have specifically testing for cosmetic with testing with cosmetic series, or we are testing with fragrance series, or we are testing with hand eczema series. So or the footwear series. In general, the standard series usually do not have these various kind of these allergens. Now, prerequisites are important for sample selection. Detailed history for putative products used by the patient is important. Like I said, the patient history only will tell us the possible allergen is one patient. And detailed information about the test material is must, and it can be obtained from material safety data sheet of that particular product. Manufacturer or supplier may or may not supply this, but we can always try to insist or try to find out the exact material used for that finished product by the manufacturer or supplier. And chemical analysis, of course, is difficult part. Chemical analysis is not possible in all cases. If the material is known, then you can always look for various studies on the chemical analysis for that particular product. Testing modalities require acidity. We have to know the acidity or alkalinity to avoid false positive or irritant reactions by these unknown products. Proper test concentrations, dilutions, and vehicles to be determined. We must test the healthy controls with varying vehicle and concentration to avoid false positive or negative reactions. So in generally, and with unknown products, 20 healthy contacts without any dermatitis, without any exposure to that particular product, need to be pre-tested before going for the actual test. Vehicle requirement or the selection of vehicle will depend on the solubility of the test material. Petroleum or water is most commonly used, is the most common vehicle used for several materials. Similarly, acetone, ethanol, and even vegetable oils can be used for non-water soluble chemicals. Non-irritant solids or powders are tested with water as a vehicle, and organic solvents are used for plastic or rubber material. These are some of the materials and solvents. Paper can be used in ethanol can be used for paper. Acetone, ether, or water can be used for plant antigens or plant allergens. Acetone is used for plastic material. Acetone and water can be used for rubber. Ethanol can be used for textile. Wood dust can be tested as is, but must remember it should not be made wet before testing, because wet wood dust can cause irritant reaction, so it can give false positive reactions in cases of wood dust. Now, various concentrations which are commonly used for most irritant or cleaning products like soap bar, shampoo, shower gel, bathing foams, or toothpaste. Mostly it is used as in aqueous vehicle as 1% concentration, except for bathing soap foam, which can be which is used as 0.1% in aqueous. Now, testing for other products like textiles, gloves, and shoes, they are tested as 2 by 2 centimeter piece after wetting with saline and to be used for 48-hour under occlusion for while patch testing. Dyes, various dyes with sensitizing potential must be tested in high dilutions first, and only then you can use in higher concentrations. Similarly, household detergent tested should be tested as 1% and 0.1% dilution with semi-octane test. Construction material like cement, concrete, resin, tile setting material tested with semi-open test if they have to be tested. Otherwise, it's not recommended because cement is a highly irritant product, so it should be avoided as a patch testing material. Paints and lacquers, you must before patch testing, we have to know the material toxicity information, and after knowing the toxicity information, only semi-open test is required to be done. Pesticides are strong irritants and can be tested in 0.3% to 0.1% and 1% concentration in aqueous or in petrolatum with healthy controls to exclude false positive or false negative reactions. Industrial use material must be tested under expert supervision. This is a caution because they can cause severe reactions, irritant reactions, or even necrosis of the skin. Now, methodology, of course, patch test is the methodology, but there is a three-step approach to test with patient's own material. First step, usually with testing the patient with the standard series, and which are occupationally relevant haptens. Like the patient of suspected hair dyes dermatitis can be tested with the PPD. Of course, it is a component of any standard series, but separately in dyes, particularly when there are two components, one is developer and another is dye, we have to test both the components, not only the PPD. We should not rely on PPD alone, because sometimes the other fragrances or other chemicals in the developer can cause contact sensitivity, and in those cases PPD may not show any positive reaction. So we have to test not only with the Indian standard series, but some of the other relevant results. Testing with patient's own material of low irritant potential like rubber products, textile, leave-on or rinse of skincare products is the plus. I mean, after testing with Indian standard series and occupational relevant, second patch testing is to be done with patient's own material of low irritant potential. In step 2, patch testing with patient's own material after thorough information about the irritant or active sensitization potential of the test material to be tested. And in the third step, patch a single ingredient of the product that had positive reaction previously to detect actual concentration, actual allergen of that particular compound allergy. So these are the basically three-step approach for testing patient's own material in any patient of suspected contact dermatitis. Testing modalities, repeated open test is recommended for patients applied products when detailed composition is not known. And the methodology, of course, has been taken up in more detail by Dr. Ria. And only thing is, I'll just revise this is 1 to 2 microliter of liquid applied with cotton swab on 1 by 1 centimeter area of the skin, and it is allowed to dry, then covered with acrylic tape, and the tape is removed after 2 days. Reading is done at 1 hour, 2 and second day and 4 days, and positive reactions confirmed by normal patch testing. Similarly, we must be aware that semi-open test can cause strong reactions, especially when we are using unknown material, and it can be unknown materials. Leave-on cosmetics, perfumes, topical medicaments, rubber products can be patch tested undiluted, as is by the closed method. What we have already heard by standard method or in-chamber method. We can test all these cosmetics because they have been prepared or they are marketed as leave-on cosmetics, so they will not cause very severe reactions. And but if the test is negative on standard closed method, then we have to do repeated application test or usage test. This method is again the patient is taught how to use this. Keep on using the suspected cosmetic, and then subsequently when the patient will come back with the reaction, then only we can make the reading on this. PPT does not detect all hair dye, like I said, and the patient's own hair dye. Both components should be tested. Sometimes the other chemicals may be causing the contact sensitivity rather than PPT itself in the hair dye. So both the components, welfare as well as the dye, must be tested separately. Repeat open application test must precede standard closed patch test if no irritant reaction is seen. Then after the patch testing, weak reactions, the weak reactions can be interpreted with patient's own material like confirmation and control testing. 20 healthy, but like I said, at least 20 healthy person must be pre-tested before proceeding further with higher concentrations. And if the healthy person, they do not show any positive reaction, then only the higher concentration or lower concentration can be used with the repeating the test, same test. Doubtful reactions may be due to impurity or intermediate chemicals. In such cases, probably individual ingredients should be preferably tested. Now, low level of allergens in chemical may give negative reactions. These are the problem areas. So high concentration of allergen may cause strong reaction, irritant reaction, or even active sensitization in some of the individuals. Composition of material when not known requires a chemical analysis, and risk of sensitization is of course rare, but it can be there. So please, these are the precautions. Do not test astringents, anti-freeze solutions, car wax, floor wax, gasoline, diesel, kerosene, rust remover, organic solvents, white spirit, toluene, toilet cleansers or cleaners, caustic cleaning agents, detergents, coarse metal chips, cement, lime, and concrete, materials with strong pungent odor, and products of unknown composition. They must not be tested because they can cause shear necrotic type of reactions in skin. Now, the carry home message: patch testing with patient's own material will help in identifying actual allergens and add to the diagnosis of allergic contact dermatitis. Proper selection of material, vehicle, pH of the tested material, concentration, dilution, etc. is critical for accuracy of results and must be found out. And this patient's own material to be tested under supervision and expert guidance whenever there is suspicion of strong reactions or strong chemicals is there. Use open test or semi-open test before closed patch test is in case of potentially irritant sensitizing materials, because closed test can cause shear reaction in these individuals. And careful reading and interpretation of test results is needed for any clinical relevance of the results. Always seek literature relevant to the intended test material for concentration, vehicle, and methodology used for patch testing. Sometimes it's better not to test, is better strategy. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vikram Mahajan, for sharing your valuable clinical experiences regarding how to do own patch test, in addition to the battery of the antigens which are available, and how to make own material for patch testing. So thank you very much once again. Any question and query you can put to Dr. Vikram Mahajan. He is ready to give.
I'm thankful to both the Mahajans.
Credit goes to Dr. Dinesh Mathur, sir, for giving me the honor to be with Dr. Vikram Mahajan, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.